Hi, it's Steve. It's 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm in the car with Phil.
Good morning, welcome to Phil's Taxis.
And we're on our way to the airport because I am flying to LA this morning for a special launch event with Panasonic. They're basically launching, they're showing some new TVs basically and players at their event in LA, because basically they don't sell TVs in the US anymore. So they're not actually at CES in a big way, certainly not when it comes to TVs and Ultra HD Blu-ray players. So they're having a separate launch event in LA. They're flying in various journalists from Europe, and I'll be going along to have a look as well, and then we'll get a better look when we actually have the Panasonic European Convention in February. So I'm going to head off to the airport. I'll keep you posted on my way there. We'll have a look at the new products and I'll give you my thoughts afterwards. And I'll give you an idea of what it's like going on a quick press trip up to LA and back from Las Vegas. So stay tuned. I'll be back soon with more coverage of my trip to LA. One of the great advantages of having jet lag is you don't mind getting up at 5 AM in the morning, because it's actually 1 PM in the afternoon in the UK, so you don't actually feel particularly tired. I'm at the airport now waiting to get onto my Virgin flight to LA to see Panasonic's new OLED TVs and Ultra HD 4K Blu-ray players. And here's my breakfast. And I even managed to get my name right, which is excellent. Well, I'm finally here. The plane was delayed due to fog, but I've arrived in LA. Now heading to my car, and hopefully I'll be at Deluxe soon for the Panasonic presentation. So stay tuned for more coverage once I actually get there. So now I've left Deluxe and I've arrived at Panasonic Hollywood Labs up in the Hollywood Hills. We're going to be taking a closer look at HDR10 Plus. So I'm at the end of what I can only describe as a very long day. I'm absolutely knackered and I'm actually tucked up in bed and about to go to sleep. But before I do, I'll quickly run through what I actually saw on my trip to LA. So basically Panasonic launched their new OLED TV lineup, which is comprised of two new models, the FZ952 and the FZ802, both of which come in 55 and 65 inch screen sizes. In fact, in terms of their picture quality, the two are identical. The difference between the two TVs is actually in terms of the sound quality. The FZ952 comes with a Blade sound system similar to last year's EZ1002. Basically, it's a built-in sound bar that's been tuned by Technics. In terms of other features, both TVs will support HDR10 Plus, and they will also include an HD optimizer, which is designed to improve HDR performance when you're watching HDR in rooms with ambient light. They also have wider 20 by 20 by 20 3D lookup tables, and they'll include a new feature called Dynamic 3D LUT, which basically analyzes the signal and changes the lookup table depending on the content in that signal. The idea is to give you the most accurate colors possible. So by analyzing the signal on a millisecond basis, it will actually adjust the colors according to the lookup tables that are appropriate for that content, and you'll get much more accurate colors in terms of the midtones than with just a static single 3D lookup table. So that was quite an impressive feature. We actually saw a demonstration of that where they compared the FZ952 to the EZ1002, and you could see definitely a definite improvement in picture quality. For the FZ952, the colours were slightly more natural, slightly more accurate. There was also a slightly brighter image as well. It was quite impressive. So that's one new feature. Also, they'll be including Amazon Prime with HDR10 Plus in terms of an app on both the TVs as well. They also showed their new Ultra HD Blu-ray players. We didn't get a chance to actually see HDR10 Plus in action. There was supposed to be a demo, but they didn't do it. We will be getting a chance to see it though later in the week at CES. In terms of the players, the big headline figures here are that it includes HDR10 Plus, so they've added HDR10 Plus to the Ultra HD Blu-ray specs, and also there's a feature called HDR Optimizer, not quite the same as the one on the TVs. This one actually basically is almost like doing tone mapping within the player itself in order to help TVs that aren't particularly bright in terms of HDR. It can sort of help them and deliver a more accurate HDR experience with less clipping. And they actually did demonstrate this. They had they didn't say which TV it was, but it did look like it was a Sony XC85. But they had an LCD TV that wasn't as bright, about 500 nits, and was clipping content with the HD Optimizer off, but turn it on and it delivered the content without clipping. So that again looks like it might be quite a useful feature going forward. So some quite interesting features. I was very impressed with the TVs. They certainly looked good. I only saw very brief demonstrations in terms of picture quality, but they looked very nice. Panasonic were very keen to stress that the EZ1002 is now being used in a lot of professional production houses for large screen, as a large screen monitor. So they have a small screen monitor, which is a professional monitor that they use, but they also like to have a bigger screen so they can look at the image on a larger screen the way that people will actually do so at home, and they can look out for any artifacts and that sort of stuff. So they're now using the 65-inch EZ1002 in a lot of production houses, and that's certainly something that Panasonic are very proud of. And the reason that they're choosing their TVs is because they're incredibly accurate in terms of colour performance and also very reliable and very consistent. So we can only assume they'll be even more impressed by the FZ952, which is going to have an even greater level of colour accuracy across the entire image. But overall, yeah, very impressive TV lineup. I like the look of the new players as well, and some great features in there. And there's definitely a sense that HDR10 Plus is gaining some momentum now, because not only have you got Panasonic supporting it on their TVs and on their players, but you've also got Samsung supporting it. You've got Amazon supporting it in streaming. You've got 20th Century Fox supporting it as a studio, and most recently the announcement that Warner Bros. Are going to support it as well. So overall, it's been a really interesting trip, a very tiring trip, but a very interesting trip with some nice products on show, and I'm looking forward to getting a better look at them hopefully later on in the week at CES, and of course then getting them in for review later in the year and really putting them through the paces. But yeah, a good start to the show so far with Panasonic's launch, and I'm looking forward to seeing more stuff as the week goes on. But right now I just want to go to sleep.